What's up guys, and welcome back to On The Brick with another custom set review where I'm going to apologize because my throat is very sore today. So if I sound weirder than normal or the audio is off, that's why. Regardless, today we are going to be looking at these ATRTs. They were designed by the incredible Dave Buckles of Dave Customs, you know, the same guy who made the gunship and whatnot. And of course, the instructions are sold by Brickvault. You can get those instructions in the description down below, or if you want a part kit and it's after September, then you can check out my web store on ONTHEBRICK.FUN. These are some of these smaller sets from Brickvault, so I went ahead and bought two because you can't really have just one. And because these are some of these smallest sets that they own, it's actually relatively cheap to do so. You can get a bunch of these for the price of one of their mid-size or even decently sized sets. Like for the price of the new gunship, you could probably get like 20 of these. Obviously, I chose to get the 501st version, and I went ahead and made it with the stronger leg design. So these particular models contain 103 pieces each, though I chose not to get a piece for both of these because it's pretty rare and actually rather insignificant to the overall build. There's supposed to be some screwdrivers on here. Also, you'll probably notice that there are no stickers on here. Brickvault's part list does actually come with the sticker sheet included, and surprisingly they're actually not that expensive at all, but I just chose not to. I might actually go back and buy the sticker sheet because I think it'll look really good. This build was a very interesting one. While I definitely wouldn't call it unstable because it's not going to fall apart in your hands, it's still a little fragile, and that's because of the techniques used to build this. I've said a lot on this channel that the ATRT is probably the most produced custom set ever. Well, I don't know if ever, but a ton of different people have made the ATRT, and I've shown off several on this channel, either in On The MOC or even in just MOC reviews like this. Out of all of them, this is easily the most complicated, and I might even go so far to say over-engineered ATRT. It doesn't look bad, but like all Brickvault sets, despite being very small and cheap, this is definitely a display piece more than it is a play piece. One place that definitely shows is in the seat, or lack thereof. This is a studless technique used again here, so the only way to actually put a minifigure in here is by connecting them to the handlebars. A technique that's not really exclusive to this and is rather commonly done. To be clear here, while I personally don't really like that, I'm not saying it's negative at all. It's really difficult to build at this scale with this level of detail for something this small, and it actually works rather well. If you want to get a minifigure on there, it's gonna look good. The only part of this set that ever actually snapped off is of course the guns on the front, and that's understandable. It's connected by a single stud and it's long. Hitting it even slightly is gonna knock it off. But the reason that I call this fragile is because the legs are a little weird, and again, there's only so much Dave Customs can even do about that. There have absolutely been a few times where he has sacrificed stability for the sake of looking good, and I do think this is half one of those. But the ATRT is also something that would just not actually be buildable in real life. At least it wouldn't be practical to do so because the legs needing the mobility that they have to hold up everything on top is just unrealistic, really. But remember what I said at the beginning of this episode where I said that I had the version with the stronger legs? Well, by nature, that means there is a version with worse legs. And I have to ask why. I mean, it's intentionally making a worse set, and I can't even say that it's for looks. This is the version with the weaker legs. This picture is taken directly from Brickvault's website, and personally, I don't even think that version looks that good. So if you get this set, I would recommend just getting the version with the stronger legs. It'll work just fine. You obviously saw this at the beginning, but I did want to show it again. These are capable of standing up perfectly fine. You don't actually have to adjust them too much, though you probably will at first, but once you get them up, they will stay up. It's actually really strong. In fact, the only area about this build that I personally don't like the look of is the feet, and that's just because it looks weird. You do need to adjust it a little bit when standing these guys up, but that's just personal preference, by the way. I'm not saying these are bad at all. In fact, this entire set is pretty good. But there's a lot going on in these feet, and you just have to adjust it a little more. And I just wanted to say that this actual like cockpit seat area is a really good build. It uses a lot of the same techniques I've seen in most of these ATRTs. And it makes the final product, again, look really good. I love how this is. With something this small, there's not too much to say. It's a fun build with some really interesting areas that ultimately looks good, but does have minimal play value, which, again, it's a Brickvault set. You should go into it knowing that it is going to be a display piece. And for its price, you can really get a good few of these and build up a pretty decent army. Just a quick reminder, by the way, next week there will not be an On the MOC. I'll explain why in a few weeks, but again, watch the important announcement video if you haven't yet. It's not dying, it will be back. But that's gonna be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Consider checking me out on Instagram, Discord, or take that extra step and join me on Patreon, where you can join all the people on screen and even get shoutouts like Project Elements and Jonathan. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.